Hi, my name is Jordan, and I am a part of the Amazon Team Project. The roles that I had in this project were the industry, the description of the company, and then separately the company description. These were all based off of research that we had to find to describe our company of Amazon and the specific industry that they work in, which can include both online shopping, web services, employment, and so on and so forth. I also provided the strengths in the SWOT analysis. So, when I had to do the strengths for Amazon, I had to find reputable sources to allow me to create a strong paragraph to introduce the SWOT analysis because the S is the first, which is strengths. I had to introduce Amazon as a strong company. So some of those could have been the number of employees they support, their customer service, their fast shipping with their Prime accounts, and their fast around the country shipping as well. They not only ship in the United States, they also ship in about every other country around the world. I also provided part of my insight on the summary paragraph before the proposal. Me and all my team members took our time and each brought in our ideas and created a short paragraph together to inform everybody about what we wanted our proposal to be for Amazon. Our proposal is going to be based off of whether or not Amazon should reinstate their non household sharing. This is very vital for kids that are in college. They may be, staying out of town for a long period of time for job offers or deciding if they want to move. And this is difficult for a lot of people that can't afford to have their own separate account. This is also great for family members that are elderly and can't figure out how to do things necessarily on their own and need extra help, so they would use the non household sharing of a child or a friend or another family member that could help them get what they need off of Amazon. This is another big reason that we chose Amazon is because this change of their Prime accounts suggests a very difficult change for a lot of people. And then they would look at backlash to become a drop in stock, a drop in their subscription members, other companies gaining um, more feedback and better customer support on their end because they now have more customers coming to them, and so on and so forth. When we decided to create our NAT chart, we all gave each other our own colors and separated everything based on what we were doing. I was in the color blue, which would also be shown on the NAT chart that I am doing the industry description, the company description, the description of the company, and then the strengths and the SWOT analysis. This will be changed later on when we go into our proposal portion of our project, but as of right now, I separated it and my teammates separated it based on who did what. While we all had our own section of each part of the project, we all helped each other out and found different things. So the SWOT analysis was broken up between the four of us, and we each had four separate sections or one separate section to take care of. It was the same with when it came to doing the overview and background, and we'll do the same for the proposal as well. I had a few tasks when it came to finding my research and informing our readers on our company. This will go from strong research that I found throughout lots of things on Google and Amazon's website specifically, and stock sections. I also had the task of figuring out how to perform the APA formatting. Formatting in APA style is not a new thing, but it is different because mostly everyone uses MLA. So that was a new task that I had to perform for myself to understand where I needed to be in the project, to make sure my references, my in-text citations, and all of my quoting was proper. I also provided the reference page in our project at the current moment. Everyone had their own references and put them at the bottom of their work, but I took the ability and extra time that I had to go through and separate everything on the reference page in alphabetical order and into APA formatting so that my other teammates, if they had other references they want to add, they could easily add them in. Once we do our proposal process and get more references, those will also be added into the page based on who gets what and when they want to add it or if they want to add it, depending if they actually used that reference or not. These references are books, Gale websites, Amazon websites, stock analysis websites, and so on and so forth. My findings that I had to do preliminarily is I had to find out basic information about Amazon. This included their workforce, their customer satisfaction, their customer appreciation, how they ran the company, how they created the company, why they felt that they needed to provide the information and opportunities within their company that they wanted, like their online shopping, their fast shipping, and then also their entire part of their Amazon Web Services, which is a whole nother section. We actually had a problem the other day where Amazon Web Services was down for a number of hours, creating a lot of problems across the United States, specifically with certain other websites that they would run, like a lot of school websites, Amazon's actual websites, Canva, and so on and so forth. So that was a lot to comprehend because finding out they are one of the biggest in the industry, that they had such a large crash creating such a large problem. It was a domino effect in that aspect. I also had to find their background, which meant I had to find who their CEO was originally and who it is now. I had to see who their board of members could have been, and then also why they decided that they wanted to expand their company so largely and across so many countries. It was a great idea on their part, and it gave lots of opportunities to people who wanted to have the option of shopping with Amazon or just working with their web services. I also had to take the deal of finding reputable sources. Now, finding reputable sources can be very difficult for a lot of people because it's easy just to type into Google, how does Amazon run their company? Now, one of the reputable sources you can always go to is their website specifically, and that's where I got a lot of my information. It's called About Amazon, and that's where they have a lot of their information about their company, how it's run, and so on and so forth. I also use Gale as an opportunity to find sources because that is one of the school provided references, and they gave me a lot of good options too. The other thing that I found was a stock analysis website. Now, it's one of the best in the countries, but it took me a while to find it. Because while it's easy to Google stocks of Amazon, you will get multiple different options. Some of them are just somebody who created their own stock website, some of them are companies, and some of them are worldwide stock analyses. Now you can separate your stocks by industry, so that made it a bit easier for me to be able to find Amazon specifically in this website. Some issues that we came across when coming into and through the team project was definitely the APA formatting. A lot of my teammates did never used AP formatting, and that included me. I have only used MLA formatting throughout my entire school career. I have gone through 12 years of schooling and then 4 years of college now, and I have never used AP formatting nor needed to use it. So that was a whole new learning process for us, although our professor provided a great resource to show us examples and opportunities to learn how the AP formatting works. Another issue we came to was in-text citations. Now, this is paying off of the AP formatting. In-text citations are also different. It was hard to understand that when you're writing in quote into a paragraph, you had to add in the reference in a specific way. You can't just say, like in MLA formatting, you can't just say, so-and-so author wrote this, and then describe what they were writing. You have to write either the last name and the year, mentions your quote, and then the page number you found it on, or you can write out your quote, and then at the end of your reference, you can write out the last name of the author, the year, and then the page number as well. Now this all has to go into the reference page at the end, so you have to make sure that everything is properly written in text and have your resources written out right there so you know what has to be added in at the end. Another problem that we also have seen is that it was difficult for me and my team members to find a strict time or meeting time, as we should say, for a team meeting for our project. A lot of my teammates and we all work full time, but we work different hours. So it's very difficult for us to find all within the same time to have a meeting, which normally takes up to at least an hour, if not more, to discuss our parts in the project, read over each other's sections and make sure that everything is grammatically correct and citations are correct and everybody has their references. A lot of times we resorted to very late night meetings because it was difficult for any of us to get into a daytime meeting at all. Especially last week, we actually had a meeting around 9 p.m. and it lasted till about 10:30 because we all had to make sure that everything was proper to hand in our overview and in background. And after we worked all that out, we were able to end the phone call, but it is difficult at the end of a long day to also come into a team meeting and have full brain power and be able to do that. Thank you for listening to my speech. You will see my PowerPoint is what my video will be on, so you can read through with me. And I hope you have a great day.